Assemble! Stay dandy, baby. In the latest chapter of Dragon Ball Super, everyone dies. You still there? Okay. I don't think anyone could have predicted what actually happened in the latest chapter of Dragon Ball Super. I mean, everybody kind of had a big theory that Vegeta was going to come in with his brand new abilities that he learned on the planet of Yardrat, and he was going to completely kick the shit out of the ancient goat wizard. That does not end up happening at all. We got to learn at the end of the last chapter that frickin' Moro has a brand new form. He swallowed 7-3 and has transformed into a more traditional-looking Dragon Ball villain, which at first I wasn't too keen on, but really, honestly, the look has kind of grown on me a little bit, and seeing it in action in this chapter right here was really awesome. It kind of reminded me of watching Dragon Ball Z back in the days. It has more of a classic feel to it than anything that I've seen from Dragon Ball Super, and in many senses I really loved that, but it also sort of like played with my expectations in a very interesting way, as I felt that this was basically just going to go like it always does, where the characters all start to lose, and then Goku's going to come in, and he's going to power up to a brand new form or use Ultra Instinct, and he's going to save the day. That doesn't happen at all. Moro absolutely kicks the shit out of all of the main characters of the series in this chapter, and he does it in absolute style, and he does it like a freaking monster. Not only does Vegeta just get absolutely wrecked by not only his very own abilities, but Goku himself gets a massive mortal wound in this chapter, and it happens really early on, which is what made this one all the more disturbing. And you gotta realize, everybody's fighting against Moro. It's not just Vegeta and Goku. Like, freaking Gohan and Piccolo are joining in, using their distinctive abilities to try and take them down. Freaking Android 17 and 18 are jumping in. Nobody is able to stand a chance against Moro, and it just made this chapter so devastating and horrifying, and honestly, I think maybe one of the most tense chapters of Dragon Ball Super, and one of the most intense things that I've seen from Dragon Ball Super, period. And again, it just makes me want that anime version to return so damn bad, because this chapter also sort of returned to the form of brutality that Dragon Ball is known for, and that's something that I think really got sort of censored heavily in Dragon Ball Super, the anime version, where in the original Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, there was these big attacks that would hit people, and there was actual, like, consequences for them. Not just bruises and getting scratched up, but, like, there was blood, there was pain, there was impalement, and you knew it was bad. This chapter showed that yet again, with the characters getting beaten down to the point where some of them outright could die. And Goku getting attacked by Moro in this chapter was insane, because it led to this big scene where basically Goku gets right up in Moro's face and hits him point blank with a Kamehameha blast, which knocks off his arm. But Moro, through his either 7-3 abilities or the fact that he's just some sort of crazy magical genius, grows his arm back, and in that instant uses it to impale directly through Goku's chest. And it leaves a massive gaping wound, a huge hole, which pretty much knocks him out instantaneously. I don't care how strong you are, you're not going to be able to endure that, and that's pretty much it for Goku here. He straight up just loses right here and falls to the ground, with everybody else sort of like following suit not long after. I mean, he just wrecks everyone. I especially loved the scene, too, where Android 17 and 18 were attacking him from behind, and he just does these, like, gun finger things, points them directly behind him, and just hits them both at point blank. It's just a massacre the entire time, and it really shows how devastatingly powerful he is. He's not subject to some sort of time limit. He can copy the abilities of people and know all of their signature techniques and moves, and he uses that against all of them. Now, while all of this is going on, we also get the return of Dende, which I thought was really awesome, because of course he has the distinctive ability to heal people, and then you also have Krillin, who's trying to get to the battlefield as well with some sensu beans. So we have these two characters who are trying to run and help their friends and heal them, and as soon as they get to this place, Moro uses another interesting ability to erect a massive barrier around this battlefield, which essentially denies them entry into joining and helping their friends. So things have gotten very desperate at this moment. moment. Moro is on top. He's about to devour everyone. Nearly all of the main characters have been beaten bloody, and some of them could very well die like Goku. And then we get it. The big shocking twist that I did not see coming is that it looks like Maris is actually going to be battling against Moro here. He arrives initially in his angel form, which kind of confused me because you only see like the lower half of his body. And at first I thought this was Whis, but I'm guessing it's just Maris in his original outfit before he changes into his Galactic Patrol look. I don't think that Whis would actually like allow this, considering how strict he was earlier about letting him get involved in the battle, although the conversation they had certainly implied that eventually Maris was going to somehow jump in here. And he arrives, he has his Galactic Patrol gun, and even attacks Moro, which actually kind of freaks him out just a little bit. So now we have a freaking angel who's going to be getting involved in a battle in the series, and it's not often that we see them getting kind of serious in the show, because they don't have to get serious because of how overwhelmingly powerful the angels in the series actually are. But Maris is an angel in training, so I think we're going to see something a little different here. We might actually get to see some more of their distinctive abilities, and maybe he's not as powerful as, say, Whis and all the other angels. We're just going to have to wait and see how all this plays out. I don't think they're going to give the victory to Maris, however. I still think that eventually Goku and Vegeta are going to be involved in this battle here, and eventually they are going to be healed. I just don't know how that's going to happen. All I know is this chapter was crazy, with watching Moro just completely run a train over Goku and all of his friends, just wrecking all of them in the process. So what's the rundown on this chapter of Dragon Ball Super? Just surprising. That's really all I can say. In some ways it's disappointing, in other ways it's really exciting. Disappointing in the sense that they were building up Vegeta for months to be like the big hero of this entire arc. But the minute that Moro got that brand new form, like he might as well have just hit a win button at this point. I mean, there's nothing they can do here. Even Piccolo brings up the fact that in their like desperate moments, Vegeta and Goku like fuse together or do something, but against Moro, who now has the abilities of Vegeta and everything, it means nothing. He can simply use Force Spirit Fission to separate them, so that's not going to work. And the fact that he can actually utilize that together along with all of the attacks of just about all the characters as long as he copies them, gives them such an extreme advantage over everyone, as he knows exactly how their abilities work and how to use them. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. I also really like that they called out Vegeta's Big Bang attack, which is something we've seen a lot of times in the series. I like that Moro contemplates that it's basically just a giant energy attack, just a big ki blast. There's nothing special to it. It has a cool name, and it basically is just a big explosion. I like seeing more of the more like signature techniques of the characters aside from just a standard ki blast, and that's what I loved about this chapter too. Like Piccolo using his Namekian stretchy arms, or Gohan using that technique with the energy ring that traps him. I loved seeing that type of stuff because they're way more distinctive than the typical attacks. I mean, don't get me wrong, I loved seeing Goku do a big Kamehameha blast right at this guy just at point blank and blowing his arm off, and the look of his arm as he like grew it back instantly and it went right through Goku's body, that was just messed up. It's not too often that Goku is like injured like that, and when it happens, it's usually a pretty freaking big deal. The one that comes to mind is when he was battling against Raditz, when Piccolo had to blast through both him and Raditz at the same time, and he left that massive hole in his chest. Like, these are the big attacks that can completely wreck him, and I can't wait to see if Dende and a combination of Sensu Beans are going to be able to do that, or maybe Maris is going to somehow get involved with healing them in some sort of sense. It's really hard to say. Didn't you also like how they almost made it seem like Jacko was going to end up being like one of the big heroes of this arc? He was like the last man standing, and then all of a sudden Maris came in. I thought that was kind of funny. Again, Galactic Patrol is coming in, and they've been an important part of this arc, and it is poetic justice for a character like Maris to actually get involved with this battle. But it's kind of hard to predict where things are actually going to go from here if Maris is going to be the one to finish him off, which would be very unlike anything that we've actually seen in the series. It's not too often that the main characters are bumped aside to bring in this brand new side character who's going to win. I don't think that's actually how it's going to go, but I'm just really psyched to see what's going to be happening next in the series. Again, the manga version continues to look fantastic. The action is always really, really great. I really do hope that the anime version is going to return, though, with this storyline, because I want to see it animated with a lot of love, attention, and care, because this might be my favorite arc in all of Dragon Ball Super. It's not only a combination of everything I love about the original series in terms of its classicness, but it's bringing in a lot of the new elements, such as the angels and the brand new training that Goku and Vegeta are going through, and it's involving a lot of the side characters in the fight too, which I think is really great. Like Gohan and Piccolo, watching them team up is always really awesome. It's giving me everything that I want from like a Dragon Ball arc, and like I said, Moro's brand new look, while at first seemed kind of generic and very similar to, say, like Cell or Frieza, it's grown on me quite a bit, and seeing it in action is really damned awesome. So I loved this chapter. I'm giving it a 5 out of 5. I want to hear your thoughts about it. Make sure to sound off in the comment section below and tell me what you thought about the latest chapter of Dragon Ball Super, where Moro pretty much just wrecked Goku and his friends beyond belief. Do you think that Maris is going to stand a chance against him? Will Maris be the one to finish him off? Or is this more of just like, you know, building up time for Goku, Vegeta, and all of his friends to heal up so that they can battle against them? I'd love to hear your predictions on how this arc could potentially end. For all we know, it still could be just getting started. This might not be the final battle of the entire arc. This could just be the middle part, but we'll have to see. Let's just talk about that and everything more in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching this review. Please subscribe to the channel for more videos just like this one. Remember, if you are already subscribed to the channel, make sure to hit the bell notification icon. It'll let you know when all of my videos are released. And if you did like this video, use a big bang attack and hit that like button. Make that stuff explode, ladies and gentlemen. I'd also like to go ahead and thank all of my patrons who've been checking out my Patreon page. You guys are amazing. Not only have you been making some great donations to the channel, but you've been giving me some amazing feedback on all of my videos and how I can improve them. Not to mention, if you guys make a donation through my Patreon, I'll review an anime series of your choice. That is right. You have that power now. And of course, I would love to add your name to the list of all of these amazing people who have been making this channel better every single day. So thank you guys so much for checking out this review. I'll see you all next time, and as always, stay damn, baby.